In the quiet hum of our town, where life moved in predictable, gentle rhythms, there lived a man named Arthur and his golden retriever, Leo. Their bond was the kind of silent poetry you read about in books, a friendship that needed no words. Every morning, Arthur would walk to the train station, Leo trotting faithfully by his side. And every evening, at precisely 5:15 p.m., Leo would be there, tail wagging, a beacon of loyalty waiting for the familiar whistle of the returning train. Their days were painted in simple joys, long walks through sun-dappled parks, lazy afternoons with Leo's head resting on Arthur's lap, and shared glances that spoke volumes. Leo's world revolved around Arthur's gentle hand and kind voice. The train station wasn't just a place of arrivals and departures. It was a promise that no matter where the day took Arthur, he would always come back. Leo's heart was tethered to that promise, to the rhythmic clatter of the tracks that brought his best friend home. He learned the sounds of the town by heart, the church bells on Sunday, the laughter of children leaving school, but his favorite sound was the 5:15 train. It was a symphony of hope. As the sun began its descent, casting a warm, golden glow over the platform, Leo would perk up, his ears would twitch, his eyes fixed on the horizon where the tracks disappeared. He knew. It was time. Other commuters would smile, patting his head as they passed, waiting for Arthur. "Boy," they'd ask, and Leo's expectant gaze was always answer enough. He was a local legend, a furry embodiment of devotion. Then, one autumn, the routine was broken. The morning walk to the station happened, as always. Arthur hugged Leo, whispering, "Be a good boy. I'll see you tonight." But that evening, the 5:15 train arrived without him. Leo waited, his tail slowly lowering as the platform emptied. The 6 o'clock train came and went. The final train of the night pulled away, leaving the station in a cold, stark silence. Arthur didn't come home. He never would again. A sudden illness had taken him, far from the town and the loyal friend waiting for his return. But how do you explain forever to a heart that only knows loyalty? Leo didn't understand. The next day, as the afternoon sun cast long shadows, he trotted back to the station. He took his usual spot, his eyes scanning the faces of every person who stepped off the train. Hope still flickered in his amber eyes. He was sure Arthur had just been delayed. Maybe he missed his train. He would be on the next one. Surely. The townspeople watched with heavy hearts. They tried to coax him home, offering food and comfort. But Leo's spirit was anchored to that spot, his gaze locked on the tracks. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The vibrant gold of Leo's coat faded slightly, but his resolve never did. He became a fixture at the station, a silent, solitary statue of faithfulness. Seasons changed around him. The autumn leaves he and Arthur once crunched through were buried under a blanket of winter snow. The snow melted, giving way to spring blossoms, and then the long, hot days of summer arrived. Through it all, Leo waited. The 5:15 train became his daily ritual, his sacred vigil. The station master, a kind man named George, took it upon himself to care for the devoted dog. He left out a bowl of fresh water and food each day. "He's waiting for his person," George would explain to curious travelers. "He's the most loyal soul I've ever known." Leo would eat, but his eyes never strayed from the tracks for long. He had accepted the kindness of strangers, but his heart belonged to one person, and he was still waiting for him to come home. News of the waiting dog spread. People came from neighboring towns just to see him, to witness this incredible display of love. They saw not just a dog, but a profound lesson in devotion. Leo's story reminded them of the connections that transcend time and circumstance. He wasn't just waiting for a train. He was holding on to a memory, keeping the flame of his love for Arthur alive in the only way he knew how. His presence transformed the bustling station into a place of quiet reflection. Years passed. Leo grew old. His steps became slower, his golden fur now streaked with gray. Yet, every single day, without fail, he made his journey. His body was weary, but his spirit remained unbroken. He would lie on the cool stone of the platform, his chin resting on his paws, his gaze still fixed on the horizon. He was a gentle, aging guardian of a promise, a living monument to a friendship that death itself could not erase. He was waiting for Arthur, one warm summer evening, as the 5:11 train pulled into the station. Leo lifted his head. He watched the passengers disembark, his old eyes searching the familiar crowd. As the last person walked away, Leo let out a soft sigh. He laid his head back down, and for the first time in a very long time, he didn't get up to wait for the next train. He closed his eyes, and in his dreams, he was a young pup again, running through a sunlit field. And there, waiting for him with open arms, was Arthur. His long wait was finally over. He was home. Leo's story didn't end there. The town, so moved by his unwavering loyalty, erected a small bronze statue of him at the station, right in the spot where he waited for a decade. It's a reminder for all who passed through, a reminder of a love so pure and a bond so strong that it became a legend. A reminder that the greatest love stories are not always between people, but sometimes between a man and his very best friend. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that celebrates the incredible connections in our lives. We'll see you next time.